Hello everybody. Today we have to study the next unit number 2. The title of unit number 2 is the gender and relationship. Can you guess what we studied today? Now, in the real life we have to do something in order to live happily. So the important thing is that love. So what way do you do to find a real love? Now this is the contents of the lesson we have to study today, finding real love. Now look at the proverb. This is the proverb of Japanese. Cold rice and cold teas are bearable, cold looks and cold words are not. Can you understand the proverb? Yes, it is mean that the relationship of the people in the family. How do you live in order to have a good family or a happy family? So it means that the way you communicate, the way you behave, and the way you take care of each other. So you have a good family. Can you translate it into Vietnamese? Okay. Now we have to go to the first part of unit number 2. First of all, you have to study some new words. Now look at the screen. This is the new word in the text. Now look at the pronunciation and the meaning and guess the meanings of the word in Vietnamese. Now the first word, with the role. It means rút lui. Alright. Now the second, pursue. Now you have to read the definitions and you guess the meanings of the word in Vietnamese. It means, okay. Now number 3, intimacy. What does it mean, intimacy? Okay. Now number 4. It's very difficult for you to read the word, to pronounce the word. Now look at the pronunciation. Variable. Now what does it mean? Okay. Now the last word, I think that is very easy for you. What does it mean? Annually. Yearly. So you have to try to practice the new word, depends on the pronunciation. Now the next word in the unit number 2 for the first part. Now the words suffocating. Now look at the definition and guess the meanings of the word suffocating. Okay. Now the 7, the word sabotage. Can you guess the meanings? The act of destroy and damaging something so that it does not work correctly. Yes, phá hủy. Now the next number 8, symposium. Symposium, what does it mean? It's very strange for you. Now look at the definition: a formal meeting at which experts discuss a particular topic. So this is the meanings of the word hội nghị chuyên đề. Now the next word, abstract, means stretch out. I think that is very easy for you. Now the meaning of the word is abstract is mở rộng. Now the next new words in the text is directed. Now do you know VPP? VP is mean that the verb in the past participle. It's maybe in the sentence it may be a narrative modifier of a noun. Now what does it mean, directed? Feared, something that will happen. So it is kinh hoàng. Now number 11, regard is a verb. What does it mean? Yes. Now number 12, anxiety. It is a noun. What does it mean? It means sự lo lắng. Now the next, cling. It's to hold in somebody's or someone or some things very tightly. It means that you follow that person very tightly. Bám theo. Now the next word, struggle. It means the fight. You don't agree with someone. You give your opinion. You express your opinion. It means that you struggle. It means that đấu tranh. Now the next, foster. What does it mean, foster? If you don't have any children in your family, but you want to have one. You can foster a baby and it become your child, or maybe they become your children. That is the nuôi dưỡng or the đầu. Now number 16, significant. What does it mean? Significant means having a particular meaning. Đầy ý nghĩa. It means that you do something meaningful. Something meaningful. So it's the same meaning with the word significant. Number 17, far away. Far away. It is actually to expect the behavior of a person, that he don't care about the other person. It means that mơ màng xa xôi. It means that the far away look. It means that he doesn't look at someone. Now number 8, approach. I think that it's easy for you to guess the meaning of the word approach. Yes, okay, approach. You come nearer. Now the next new words in the test. Recreate. I think that you know this word because it's clearly for you to understand the word that exists or seem to exist again. Again, it means that the prefix of the word create, re. Okay, create. And you use re, it means that you do the things the second time, do something again. Tạo hoặc là khôi phục lại. Now number 20, annoy. Annoy, I think that you can guess the meanings of the word. What does it mean? Annoyed. Okay. Number 21, privacy. What does it mean? Privacy. Something belong to you, not the other person. Sự riêng tư. Now the next, grieve. It is easy for you to get the word have a great desire for. It means that to want to have something. Ao ước thèm muốn cái gì đó. Now after you have some new words from the test, I want you to practice reading the words and make the sentence with the words. At least 3 words in your sentences in order to improve your sentences and your reading. Now the next part we have to go to for the reading. When you read, you have to get some strategy in order to get the meanings or understand the content of the text. So the first part you have to study is previewing the reading for its organization. It means that you don't have to read the text carefully. You just skim and find out the keyword and answer my questions. Now the first, whether the case study begin in this article. The case study is mean that the situation of the story, when it is the most important in the story. Now at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. Now number 2, what are the name of the people in the story? Very easy. Now number 3, the article provide information about how to meet people and how to have successful relationship. It means that there are 2 main points in the reading: how to meet people and how to have successful relationship. Okay, I give you 2 minutes to read the text. Now please answer the first question. Where is the main idea of, or the main case of the story? Okay, it begins in the middle of the reading. Now look at paragraph D and you can understand the case study of the story. It means that at that time we can know what happened and why, the reason why the situation happened. Now number 2, it's easy for you? The name of 2 people. Okay, that is Amber and Tara. Now number 3, give the way to meet a successful relationship. Just one. They just give you how to have successful relationship, but not how to meet potential mate. Potential mate, what does it mean? It means that your partner, you don't know who's your partner, but maybe in the future that person will become your potential. 8. Now, that's all for the contents of the reading. So you can understand what happened in the story, what happened to the people, and what is the relationship between them. How do they live in the family, and how can they make their families happy. Now the next, in order to understand more about the content of the test, you have to know some main words in the test. I introduce the main word in the test. First, you have to look at the title, identify more exact and colorful synonym. It means that you go in detail of the words, the vocabularies. Now in the test, they give you some sentences with the hint, and you have to find out in the test the words have the synonym with the word in the brackets. Design intensively. What does it mean in the test? Which word in the test they use to express the meanings of the word design intensively? Okay, thank you. That is the word grave. Now number 2, find out in your test and get the meanings of the word destroying by many small acts. Okay, that is the word sabotage. What does mean sabotage? Can you remember the new word? Tức là hủy bỏ, phá bỏ. Now number 3, the word have is very simple, but what word do they use in the test? Not only have. Okay, the word foster, it means that you accept someone to do something for that person. Or maybe you support that person, foster. Now number 4, the word important and meaningful. Which word in the test have this meaning? Okay, the word significant, là có ý nghĩa. Now the next part we have to study for unit number 2 is 7. You have to identify the meanings of the word. The title of the reading is Identifying More Exact and Colorful Synonym. It means that you have to find out the meanings of the word in the test, have the same meanings that I give you in the examination. Now number 5, you have to use the correct word with the word build again. Build again, very easy for you. You have to find out a word with the prefix re. And in the test you find out the word recreate. It means that làm lại, tái tạo lại gì đó. Now number 6, the word absent. What does it mean? I think that you remember the word, but what word they use in the reading? So this is the far away. Far away look. It means that cái nhìn đăm chiêu, cái nhìn mơ màng in his eye. So this ways of eye may attract a lot of girls or women in the society. Now number 7, come nearer. Can you guess the meanings of the word come nearer? Yes, it is approach. Approach, it means that you get next to the other person. Now number 8, the word fear greatly. It means that fear. Now the next word in the test. The words right to independence in secrecy. Now do you understand the word independent? It means that you don't have to depend on someone. It means that you want something to belong to you. So in the test you can find the words privacy. Now number 10, irritated means annoyed. Number 11, move away. It means that withdrawing. Withdrawing, there are a lot of meanings. Depend on the situation. In the relationship, it means rút lui. At the bank, you can use rút tiền hoặc là lấy tiền khoản. Now number 12, hanging on tightly. Hanging on. I think that you understand the word hanging on. It means that you follow someone. The meaning in the text is clinging. Now I think that you can understand more. The new words in the test depends on the synonyms they give in the bracket. Now next you have to go to the next part. Please read the text. I give you 15 minutes to read the text. Now after reading the text, you have to understand more the content, but you have to know the strategies of the reading. Now the first strategy of the reading is determine the order of the event. Can you remember the story of the two people? Yes. And right now I give you the content, the main idea of the story, and after that you have to order them in the correct order in order to have a good story. Now from number 1 to number 8 is the main idea of the story of the two people, Tara and Amber, but you have to put them in the correct order. Now what is the first? Now depends on the diagram, and you have to put some information in the box. Now the first is the two people don't want to live alone. They want something more close, and Amber want more respect for his privacy, because his mother usually enter his room, so he want more respect. Now what happened next? What happened after this? Tara and Amber met at the party. Do you remember? At the party. And what did they do after meeting at the party? And they fell in love. It's easy for them because they had the same situation, and they were easy to approach or to fall in love. Now what happened after they fell in love? Tara and Amber got married. Okay. In a short time, they had the same thing and they got married. Now, what happened after getting married? I think that Amber would come home tired and annoyed. Do you know the reason why he was tired and annoyed whenever he come home? Okay. Now, what happened? What the other person do? Tara would become concerned and insist on talking what's going wrong. It's because she wants to know the reason why he has this feeling, tired on time and annoyed on time. And whenever she's concerned and insists, what happened to the man? Began to withdraw from Tara because he don't want to show his feeling and he want to hide something, maybe. And now, what happened next? Tara began to cling to. So the two information can you guess? The more Tara cling to Amber, the more Amber began to withdraw from her. Tức là càng một bên càng tìm hiểu thì một bên kia càng lẩn tránh. So the contents of the story depends on the diagram, the charts. And right now, can you guess what will happen in the end? That is your road. You have to find out what will happen. Maybe they make something to have a good life, or maybe they divorced, maybe. And at the end of the lesson, you have to discuss and write something relating to the story. Now the next, you have to study something after reading. Do you know identify causes? You have to find out the reason why something happened. I give you some citation and you have to read the text again and find out information to fill the gaps in order to find out the case or the reason why. Now number 1, why they fall in love. Now this is the keyword for you. They are from because she may remind of a person in their life. She remind of her mother, and she remind of her father, and he remind of his father. So this is the reason why they fall in love. Now the second, why were Tara first attracted to Amber? Because he has a height of tall, he is very handsome, and he has a faraway look in his eye. He likes the ways of his eye. Now number 3, why? Because She seems not beautiful, but she warm and nurturing. Nurturing is mean that she look after someone very well. It is the way he loved her. Now number 4. Because she felt that he unhappy with their marriage and with her are in trouble. Now number 5. The Albert began to withdraw and tell me the reason. Because she remind him of his mother. He think that the way she's nurture him, the same the ways of her mother entering the room. So the reason why he could withdraw more and more from Tara. Now, that is the content of the story, and right now you have to go to the other strategy in order to understand more the contents of the reading. Guided academic conversation. It means that I ask you to work in pair to make a conversation relating to the story. Now, there are some questions you have to talk with your friends and find out the reason. Now the first, what's wrong between Ans? What was wrong between Ans and Tara? They don't explain to each other. They keep silent all the time. So the problem is I have to explain. Now the second, do you know the words dance in intimacies? Dance intimacy. It means that something's happened in the circle. This happened, the other will continue in the circle. So they move in circle, not talk about the issue. Tức là cứ trong cái vòng luẩn quẩn không có giải quyết được một vấn đề. Now the next, number 3. To love someone reminds them of one of their parents. Do you think so? Yes, maybe. Someone remind you of something, or something remind you of something. Depends on your opinion, you can give the answer. Not the last, it's hard to find love. Do you think so? It's hard or easy? It depends on each person. So it's freely to answer. And the next, what is the means of the title by real love? It means that real love is more intimate. It's immediate and long-lasting. If you live happily and you have each other, you know each other in the right way, it means that you can last your love. Now that's all for the discussion. I want you read and one answer the question, depends on what I suggest. Now this is the purpose of the reading. After you study the reading, the story of 2 people in the test, and right now you have to write the ending of the story. What will happen? You get. Now what do you have to write? You have to write depends on this main idea. You answer the question, it means that you can write the ending of the story. Now this is the exercise you have to do at home. Now, after reading, you have to do the other thing in order to understand more. Looking for a love. Now, love is very important in the life and it's very intriguing. So there are a lot of people to make some poem and songs related to the love. Now, this is the poem related to the love. Now, read the poem and can you say something about the content of the poem? When I were in love with you. So can you understand the title of the poem? When I were in love with you. Yes, I want you work in group and translate the poem in Vietnamese. Don't pay attention to the rhymes, but you have to pay attention to the content. How to make it smooth poem. Now after reading the poem, now please answer the question depends on the poem. Now the first, do you think love can transform a person? Transform, it means that change the person. Yes or no? Yes, I think so. You become a silent person, becomes an active person, or you become an active person, becomes you become an absent person. You quiet or do something different. So I think that love can transform the person. Now, number 2, in the poem, is transformation permanent or temporary? Permanent, it means that it lasts for a long time. Temporary, it means that in a short time only. It means that you change in the short time or you change in for a long time. Now, according to the poem, this is the answer. It is temporary. Why? Because nothing will remain or nothing will last for a long time. Or it is in the general opinion of the people. Now, number 3, what do you think the poet used rhyme? It means that the tongues of the poem. The poem may have the use rhyme to emphasize his point. Emphasize want to make his points or his ideas attractive in order to attract the other person. Now the next, number 4. What effect does it have on a reader? It material moving. Moving, what does it mean, the moving? Moving, it means that have the sense or have some feeling. Now number 5, how would you design a tone of the poem? The tone, dòng điệu, yes. It seems to be a bit depressed and sad, because something wrong happened to the person in the poem. So the rhythm of the poem very sad. Now the next, is there a song or poem about love that you like? I think that's a lot of songs related to love, and you can tell me some. Now this is a free question, you can answer, and you can tell me the name of the song or the poem. Now the next you have to study for the reading is the drawing conclusion from the chart. Now they give you a chart and you have to answer the question, depends on the chart. Now this is the chart. What is the chart about? This about the top months of the wedding in the US. Now the first column talk about the times, the second talk about the percentage of the wedding, and the times they usually open or organize wedding, and the last is the months when they usually organize the wedding. Now the first question I want to ask you, this is right or wrong, depends on the chart. In the new year, get married around the new year. Yes, it is 4. No information in this, so you use it is 4. Now the second, don't care in which month they get married. Which month, you don't care. They can get married at any times, at any month. It is right or wrong? Yes, it is 4. They depends on this month, not any months in the year. Now number 3, US prefer to marry in month begin with letter J. Letter J, for example, June, July. Is it right? It's right. Yes, this is 4, because besides J you can use A, M, and S. Now the next, number 4, US prefer warm weather for wedding. Now what month is warm? Now look at, it is true. It is true. Now the next, number 5, US prefer cold weather for wedding. Cold weather, 4, because this month is not cold. June, August, May, July is not cold. Now the next, you have to recover all the information in order to express your opinion. Depends on the number or depends on the idea, and understand the contents of the table. And right now you have to go to the part 2 of the reading unit number 2. Now look at the title of the reading. Bare branches must snap in Asia. Can you understand? Bare branches. It is a new word in the text related to the text. It means that the person who have no children must snap. It means that increase or appear in Asia. Now, in order to understand more of the bare branches, you have to read the test and you get some more new words. And the question is why it happened in Asia, not the other continents in the world. Now before you read, you have to know some new words. Now I give you some new words in the test. Now you guess the meaning. Now number 1. Okay. Number 2. Người chưa vờ, yes, good. Conquer, what is it? It is the chinh phục chạy ngự. Now the next, crave. It means ao ước, thèm muốn cái gì đó. Now the next, dilemma. It's very interesting word. It is tình trạng khó xử hoặc là tiếng thoại lưỡng nan. And the last word is diminish is giảm bớt, become less. So you have to look at the pronunciation and practice. I give you some. And the next word, what does it mean? Integrity. Okay. Now the second, intimacy. Okay. And the matchmaking. Sự làm mai là một. Maybe we have to talk about this in the test. Matchmaking. Now the next word, negligible. It was không đáng kể. Small, a little. Phenomenon. What does it mean? Hiện tượng, yes, good. Sabotage. Sabotage, what does it mean? Destroy, làm hỏng, phá hủy, hoặc là vứt bỏ. Now the next, social, economic. The word combine the word society and economic, combine the word in order to make the new words. Kinh tế xã hội. Study. Khỏe mạnh, yes, good. Subclass. It's easy for you. Subclass, what does it mean? Okay. Now, unresolved. Unresolved, what does it mean? Unresolved. It's not resolved. It's meant chưa được giải đáp hoặc là chưa được giải quyết. Without is destroy, loại bỏ, loại trừ. Khử, yes. Now withdraw, rút lui. Now this was very important in the story because talk about the relationship between the man and the woman. The last word for the vocabulary is the direct, means fear greatly, kính sợ, hại sợ. Now you have to practice pronunciation and use 2 words to make your old sentences. Maybe a complex sentence is better. Now you have to go to the next part of the reading. Before you read, of course, you have to scan or skim in order to find out the contents of the general idea of the text. But after that, you have to find out some content of that in detail. Now the first, scanning for the detail. Very easy. Look at the sentence in the text and fill in the gaps. Now number 1. Sex ratio is mean that tỷ lệ giới tính. From 120 to the 100, it means that the highest from 120 and the lowest is 100. Now number 2. Yes, from the 105.8 and 107.9. Now read and you find out the number in the test very easy. Number 3, the ratio is 126. And the next, number 4, who will not find wives, and it translates to in English. So the word is in Chinese. In English, it means that they don't have a wife or they don't have a husband. Người chưa vợ. Now number 5. What information can you guess? People or women are kidnapped to provide bride for those who, tức là làm vợ cho ai đó. They can pay the fee, yes. It means that the person in the society has a high position in the society. The person have enough money to pay for the person, for the women being kidnapped, tức là bắt cóc để mà cho những người giàu có hoặc địa vị cao. Now the next, scarcity. It means that the money or skill or education. Now number 7, 12 and 15% of the young people. Now read the test and find information related to number 8. Yes, okay, the sex ratio and the violence crime ratio. Tỷ lệ về giới tính và tỷ lệ về những cái tội phạm ở trong xã hội. Now number 9. Okay, there was 19 years. The year turned 19 the year this article was published. Now the next, 40% of the world population is in China and India. It's not you don't worry about the content, you just look at the test and find out the number and fill in the gaps. And right now, you have to go into the details of the word and the structure in the test. Now, the meanings from the test and the structures from the test very important for you to understand more the test. Now, look at your book, look at your screen and match the meaning of the words in bold and the definition on the left column. Now the first word, trouble scenery. It means that the situation got causing worry, tức là những cái tình trạng mà gây phiền toái. Now number 2, to without. Without means to destroy or dispose of, phá hủy đi. Now number 3, sex selection abortion, tức là sự lựa chọn và giới tính. Kill a fetus. It's fetus. It means that fetus. What does it mean? Unborn baby, tức là bồng trong bào thai. Because of its gender, bởi vì cái giới tính của hắn này, cho nên người ta hủy trước khi mà sinh. Now number 4, subclass. Easy for you. Subclass is a group of people low in status than other status. What does it mean? It's a position in the society. The number 5, aggravating social instability. It means that the increasing of lack stability in the society, tức là sự tăng về thiếu cái ổn định trong xã hội, tăng. Now number 6, no stake in the society means that no share, no interest, no involvement. It means that no position in the society, tức là không có cái quyền riêng tư, không có sở hữu cái gì cả. It means that in the lower, not in the high class, in the subclass. The number 7, dilemma, it is difficulty or a difficult problem. Tức là những cái khó khăn, những cái rắc rối trong xã hội gọi là tiến thoái lưỡng nan, tức là không biết làm tới hay là lui. Now number 8, crack down on crime. What does it mean? It's strong control. It means that who have the power in the society can do everything. Crack down on crime. Now number 9, immigration. You have to leave your country to move to the other country. Bằng rời nước mình gọi là định cư hoặc là di cư tới nước khác. Now number 10, threshold. It means that the beginning, it means like a ngưỡng cửa. When you start to do something in your life, it is the threshold. Now the next word, diminishing, it means that lessening. It means that you make something lower, làm giảm đi. Now, do you remember the words? You have to read and remember the definition of the word. And right now you have to make some sentences with the new words. Maybe you choose to make new words. Now, the next you have to discuss. Give your opinion about the question. Do you think that love needs to share everything together? It is a personal question. You have to answer yourself. After that, we have to show your opinion in front of the class. Now, do it yourself. Now, please, right now, after learning some new vocabularies, some structures or expression from the test, and right now you have to read in order to understand more the content of the test. Bare branches must snap in Asia. The test is about the true love and talk about the marriage partner in most society. But how do you do this if there are many more of one gender? It means that more men or more women, more male or female than the other. What happened in the society? Now, do you get married? You have a boy or a girl. So what do you like? So this is the situation in the society. Many people like male than the female, and some happened relating to this. Now we have to discuss more about the topic of the reading. Now, after reading, you have to focus on the word. I give you the test and you have to remember all the new words as suppose I give you at the beginning. And right now you have to fill the gaps. If you understand the content, you can record the new words and put them in the correct gaps. Now the first word, in society where the status of women is so low that it means that the position of person is very low. Now number 2. Yes, the prospects for peace and democracy are seriously repressed. It means that something they want to get in the future. Tức là những cái viễn cảnh của họ về những cái ao ước của họ về hòa bình is diminished, is very it decreased. Now the next number 4. The son and daughter was to extend far apart of the contemporary Asia, a part of contemporary Asia. Now the next number 5, but also create a subclass of young men likely to have difficulty. It means that a new class appear in the society. And the number 6, because some prefer has been a significant phenomenon, hiện tượng có ý nghĩa. Because they like son, because son preference is the license like boys in the family. Yes, okay. Now, right now, after filling the gaps, you have to remember the new words in the gaps. And the next, you have to go to the part number 4, making inference. Making inference, what does it mean? It means that you look at the sentence and you find out the sentence that the same meanings of the given sentence. Now read and choose the correct for it. Okay? Select abortion is illegal throughout Asia, but it's being done away. Even the same meaning of the sentence. Now the second. When you pick up one end of stick and you also pick the other, what does it mean? Tức là cánh chì có sự ảnh hưởng của hai cái đầu của cây. Pick up tức là nhặt lên một cái đầu này của cây thì đầu kia nổi lên, tức là chỉ kéo theo, cái này xảy ra thì cái kia cũng kéo theo. So look at the sentence and find out the meanings, the synonym. Okay, a society reference for son over daughter. It means that they prefer son to daughter, and this thinking harms both girls and boys. Not good for both, but harm, because what happened to girl will happen to boy too. Now number 3, what is the same meanings of the sentence? Yes, okay. In the past, when there haven't maybe many bare branches in society, the government usually have given its citizen less liberty. Tức là có nhiều người mà thiếu vợ thì trong xã hội thì chính phủ sẽ làm một cái việc gì đó cho họ là gì? Citizen less liberty, tức ít tự do hơn. Now the next, number 4. What is the meaning of number 4? Okay, thank you. Number A is the meaning of number 4. Because they can't get the married, the person in the local, so they have to immigrate or leave the country for military obligation. They can get married, so they have to join the military. Now the math, you have to look at the reading. What do you think? How men and women communicate? If you have the chance to communicate with the other people, it means that you are very lucky. But you don't have a chance or opportunity to find your partner, so what do you do? So you have to depend on the matchmaking. Now matchmaking, what does it mean? Matchmaking is mean that the work or the job of the person who find the other person for the other person to make a couple. What does it mean in Vietnamese? Việc mai mối, người làm mai làm mối. So today you have to read some a test related to the matchmaking. First, you have to understand the new word. Now the first word, impulse, means the second, shooty. The next, boundary. Affiliation. Sick. Norm. Conquer. Integrity. Now after you have the new words, and right now you have to read the text in 10 minutes because it is very interesting for you related to the title matchmaking. Now I give you some sentences, but you have to choose 3 of them to make the summaries of the text. Now what is the best sentences? What are the best sentences for the summaries? First of all, you have to omit. What sentence do you omit? Okay, you have to omit B because it's not important. Now what else can you omit? Okay, now the last you can omit in order to have a good summary. Okay, these 3 sentences are the best for summaries of the story matchmaking. They contain the main idea. Okay. Now in order to recall what you studied today, I give you a test and you have to fill in the gaps. Number 1, okay, what word can you use? Okay, good. Marriage, about marriage, men and women. Now number 2, 11, 12 years old. Now number 3, affiliation. Yes, good. Now number 4, boundary. Number 5, negligible. Yes. Now the next exercise, you have to use the old word to fill in the gaps. Now number 1. Now first of all, do you understand all the new words? I think that it's easy for you. If you don't understand, please ask me. Now please, the first, number 1. Okay, number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. And the last one. This is the content of the test. And right now, the exercise I want you to do is raise some question related to the exercise. I will ask you later. Now, that's all for the reading, unit number 2. Remember to learn the new vocabularies and use them in your sentences in order to improve your language. Now the next, read the text again and find out what structures or what sentences you can't understand. And you have to read some question if you want to ask me some. Now that's all for the unit today. Thank you for your listening.